Hey, look everyone, it's Lars. I wonder if he's gonna prey on a down back 4, prey on an orbital, or try and set up his shitty 1+2 throw with a slash kick, aka the 3 things that Lars players do. I mean, I look at this character now and I just get the taste of stale bread in my mouth. He's been so pathetic for so long, jumping around with his supposedly awesome mix-up stances that nobody gives a shit about. Like, the opponent could not care less if you are in one of these stances or not. They really should rename them from dynamic entry and silent entry to the slide in the DMs and the please respond. But somebody left a comment on my last video saying, do a season 4 Lars wish list, and my entire body was like, why? Because we all know that he's going to be bad. We all know that he's going to have small dick energy. But later that night, I was grocery shopping, trying to decide what kimchi to buy, and I just had this idea that I thought could really work. I was like, wow, if we did this one thing, it could maybe really rescue this character. And it's kind of rare that you have ideas that just really make sense to yourself like that. And I'm not going to blow my own trumpet too hard, because you might think this is a terrible idea. You might know that somebody suggested it somewhere in the past already. I don't know, but I wanted to share it with you guys because I think it could really work for him. So why is Lars bad? First of all, it's something that people have speculated on for a really long time, and it's kind of difficult to break down, but I think it has to do with the weakness of his mix-ups and the awkwardness of his lows, because all the fast ones are really awkward. Like this thing, I don't think it's good. It has some really cool ideas mixed in there with the spin and everything else, but it's not a reliable and good low that you want to do with this character. And then, this thing, same thing there. Really cool, really flashy ideas and cool animation, but it doesn't really do anything for him. And then you have the slow launch punishable stuff. And I think down back 4 is the star. But it is very slow, very launch punishable. Sometimes people even block it on reaction, and if they do that even once in a round, then you're so behind that you won't be able to catch up really, and it can be a huge problem for him. So I was thinking about his brother Kazuya, right, or his entire family. They all kind of mix you up by default, if you know what I mean. Like, the reason you run up and then sit and crouch like a little bitch when you're playing against Kazuya is because all of these dangerous things he can do when he's approaching you, especially with his wave dash, the hell sweep that knocks you off your feet, the electric that you have to duck and go under, otherwise it just keeps coming. And I remember the fact that Lars has this move, right, 4-4-4-3, which is supposed to be, I guess, his sort of answer to a hell sweep. The thing with this move is that it just gives you a nice chunk of damage. It's very launch punishable, but then it just leaves the opponent standing there, which can be a good mix-up opportunity. But then again, I think your issue with the character is that you don't have good mix-ups, so it's not that valuable. So the idea I had is, what if you turn this low into a knockdown move and give it, some serious threat packed into it. And the knockdown property specifically that I would want to give it is the one that Leo currently has on the Falling Leaf. You have to do the second input. The game has to read the second input being done before it gives the knockdown property to the first hit. And that is to sort of mitigate the power of the first hit and make sure that it's not too powerful, that you don't just do this and knock them down, that you have to commit. And then, you could go in here from afar with dynamic entry, your answer to the wave dash, the Swedish wave dash, and really threaten them with this low here. Really incentivize them to duck, or set it up in close range when you're poking around. And then at any given moment, you could hit them with this. And if you think about it, it might sound very powerful, but think about Falling Leaf from Leo, or from Lay, or think about the Demo Man from Paul, for example. Think about Moonglide 4 from Elisa, stuff like that. There really is a lot of knockdown power, sometimes even potential combo power baked to these unseeable lows these days. And Lars, the fact that he doesn't even get a knockdown at all, I think really limits the power of this low and really makes him less scary. But if he had that and you were doing, dynamic entries towards the opponent like this, they really might just duck because they're scared, And then you can mix that with, I think the main mid would probably be the Dynamic 2, which you have right here. This is unreactable. It gives you good advantage. I think it's +7 right now. And it's a really reliable little mid. So that would be good. You could do this and then go straight into this low for the mix-up and get the knockdown. Really powerful stuff. And if the opponent's going to hesitate, now you have some space to play around with this other new move that they gave him, which is Dynamic 3. Plus on block mid. So if this stance is scary and it can make them think, there might be a reason for them to actually duck and get hit by this, allowing you for the wall bounce, or just block it and now you have advantage again and you can threaten this from, you know, standing position without necessarily using the stance. So I think without doing much else, just giving that knockdown property to this move, you could even leave the damage exactly as is. You've really boosted the potential of this character, and maybe then people will play him more and start experimenting with all these awesome looking moves that he has. I mean, when's the last time you saw somebody do this awesome looking move, or this awesome looking move, or this one, or I mean this one? He has so much cool stuff, and none of it gets used because he's you know, just so underwhelming. But I think that could be a big thing. And then I started, you know, having all kinds of ideas, like how you could on hit, for example, cancel the second hit of this and allowing him for a silent entry transition as well, and pack all kinds of power into this low. Not necessary, but could be interesting. Another idea I had is, what if you allow silent entry to cancel with down into crouch, because you have a full crouch mix up with this low, you know, one of the few good lows that you have. Could be another fun idea as well. But that's the main idea I had. Now we know that all the characters are going to have new moves in the new season, and I think one good thing that you could give to Lars, because, okay, say you knock them down with your new, you know, Lars Hell Sweep, and you want to apply Oki. I think he kind of struggles in that department because he doesn't have one of those strong good mids, you know, steel pel kind moves that you can hit people on the ground with. The only like really good ground hitting move you use with Lars right now is this stomp, but it's a stomp, you know, it's very different. Something that could threaten them on the ground could be a cool idea. If you're going to give that property to a move he already has, I don't know, maybe the back four could have that property, and then if they get up with a get up attack, you get the counter hit, and then, you know, you get 50 damage, and it's really dope. I don't know, maybe you add something new, maybe you give it to something he has. And then the other idea for a new move that I had was, I think it's awkward that Lars has this down forward one that connects to absolutely nothing, but all the other, like, sort of vanilla flavored characters that have these standard pokes, like Lars, if you're talking about, I mean, Miguel, I mean, all the characters, more or less, that have standard down forward ones. Zafina, yeah, even Leo has that awkward counter at high thing. They all have extensions to their down forward one, but Lars has kind of nothing. He just does this. And because nothing can really come after it, there's no real reason for the opponent to really respect this. So, you know, he has this 4 right here. I thought, and they already gave this 4 as an extension to 1, so he has 2-1-4 now. Adding this 4 kick right here as an extension to down forward 1 and giving him down forward 1-4 could be really interesting. So the way you would do that is probably make it safe on block, and make it duckable on reaction so that you can duck and launch it, and then instead of giving it the knockdown property like that, you give it the ballerina spin property. So basically you give him down forward 1-4 from Zafina. Now he has a fast 13 frame wall splat tool that he could use at the wall. Could work really well, and a nice flexible little combo tool as well, because it would obviously have the spin property baked in. And now there's also a reason for the opponent to allow him to breathe after he's applying a lot of down forward 1, because they have to respect that extension. They have to worry about whether or not they should be ducking. I think that could be really interesting as well. But I think just the suggested change to this Hell Sweep move that he has, while it might sound very powerful, could do a lot for him. And compare it to Falling Leaf from Leo, Demo Man from Paul, and just think about how much it helped Elisa when she got some serious power in a low from her, you know, dash and approach stance with the Moonglide 4. It's basically the exact same concept, and it really helped that character break out of the bottom tier, in my opinion. And then, you know, improve his Oki a little bit, give him something cool to hit on the ground, and maybe some more utility baked into his down forward one. It's not difficult to do. You don't really have to come up with any new animations, and I think you've already done so much for the character that he will see much more popularity just right after. But I could be wrong, and maybe you think this is crazy. Let me know. in the comments what you think about Lars currently and what you hope happens to him in the new season, because again, it's such a damn waste when a character with animations this creative and this cool and crazy just goes completely unused. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys again very soon.